Some of my favorite commentator couches are me, Scar, Lovage, and someone else. We had me, Scar, Lovage, and Silent Wolf. That was a blast. Lovage is amazing. Who else is good? Mango's also really, really fun to commentate with. Mango, honestly, probably one of the best commentators of all time. He also just understands people very well. He has this charisma to him where, you know, if you're a Mango hater and you interact with Mango, you're going to come out of that experience a Mango fan. That's just how it is. So, yeah, he's got this general charisma to him. And Lovage, he's just such a chill dude, and he knows a lot about the game, and he's so naturally funny in this, like, subtle, non-in-your-face sort of way. I don't think they have a really rigid sense of what they want. I think it's just if you're good and if you're enjoyable, I think they just kind of gravitate towards you, if that makes sense. I don't think there's a specific... I mean, you know, we have commentators like Phil, and we have commentators like, you know, who's a sort of an antonym, someone who's more I don't know, like, say, well, even D1, right? Like, you have sort of D1's like, you know, he's more like sort of refined, and you can tell that he's really like honed his craft. And you have Phil, who just like brings this like really vivid, like sort of free flowing sort of excitement to the table. I loved his commentary on Wizrobe versus Hungrybox set 1 at Smash Rivalries. He did, for example, there's this commentator no kind of where you never want to admit something, you never want to admit it's over because it kills hype.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And Phil was like, but the way Phil was doing it was so funny because Brad was like, you know, Wizrobe could win this, and Phil was like, nah, this is done, man. I've seen this time and time again. H-Mon's gonna clutch this. This is over. You know, close the books on it, whatever. But it was so funny almost. And it was like really engaging the chat because everyone wanted to believe. And like the way Phil was playing the role of the hater was just like really unique. And so I guess what I'm saying is like anything goes as long as you're good. And if there's ever a sense of conflict, it's less to do with what I perceive the audience wants and what Smash currently has, and it's more to do with as I expose myself to new esports and new types of commentary. Like when I watch, like I've been watching a ton of Overwatch. Like Monty's commentary in Overwatch, for example, has really started to influence me. And when I watch stuff like that, I'm like, okay, how can I work this? How can I work these new things I want to play with into the way I currently commentate and still sort of retain that same vibe that we have? It feels a little strange to say this, but I actually feel like the thing that a commentator needs to have is credibility. There's a trend in Twitch chat where if you're a new commentator and people don't know who you are, you have to work hard to win them over, and people will rag on you hard for being wrong about things, for not knowing, for not knowing things that you're perceived to, you should know. And I think that's why top players just kind of fit in so easily. Ramada hops on the mic, everyone wants to listen, everyone wants to hear what he has to say. I think credibility is really important, and that just comes with experience and just knowing the game, and also the other thing that's really important, I think, is just a sense of just being relatable and being funny. I think it's really easy as a commentator to forget that it's also your job to be entertaining. Yeah. Fundamentally, if the people who are watching, if they're learning lots of things about Smash but they're not really having fun, then you probably aren't doing your job. Sometimes there's commentators that are so bad they're good, or they just have like a thing to them, like they have a gimmick or something, or not that this a counterexample, but yet one of the best examples I can think of is some of the most fun I've ever had watching Smash commentary is watching Fauster's commentary. I sometimes when he commentates in French, I literally don't know what he's saying, but his energy level is so high, and he clearly has so much love for the game and so much passion that you're gonna have a good time watching him because you feel like you're there. So yeah, there's a lot of ways you can succeed as a commentator, but ultimately, people want to feel like people want to have fun, and I think commentators, you have to be fun. And yeah, credibility helps. People are going to be less harsh on me or Scar. If Scar says he doesn't know frame data for something, it's like, haha, oh, that's Scar. If Joe Schmo says he doesn't know the frame data for something, a lot of people rip on him. So that's where the credibility thing comes in. It's like people feel like there's people that they can relate to and that they can trust, I guess, on the mic. And I guess my advice to new commentators is if you're not there yet, just keep at it, and people will get used to it. People will start to love you. Yeah.